Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Big Chief channel. Joining you today is myself, your host, Aaron Lee, as well as a familiar face. Oh, sorry, my camera just almost fell off the table, but we are here live and all is well. But before further ado, let's welcome the most important person of this channel, none other than Big Chief himself. Welcome, the tribe of the chief,
How everyone?
Andrew
How Aaron?
Richards.
How you doing?
How's it
Yep.
going?
The going pretty hot today, so perspiring a lot. You know, drank a little bit more water.
Very good,
Um,
very good. I think water is a very important thing for us to consume. But one thing more important than water, some may say, is the mind, because um, without the mind, how do we even think of drinking water, right?
Before we start, today got to apologize for JN not coming in, and he has got some last SOS last minute chores to do, and
Mm-hmm.
he's on the way to Johor right now. So here I am. So you
Whoops.
are correct, Aaron. Actually the mind is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't think that a lot of people really can grasp the the weight or how big the mind actually is, because a lot of the time, when we are just going on to our day-to-day work, or just doing our daily tasks, we never actually take the time to think like, hey, why can I think, and why do I have a mind, or to be aware of that. And we don't really know the power behind the mind. So maybe today, since you're on and you're one of the mind gurus around here, you can share a little bit about that. Yeah.
See, to answer your question, firstly, you do not know
Yeah.
why people do not focus on the mind. First of all, the mind is not proven in scientific terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you cannot prove the existence of the mind scientifically, and the the way the mind works could be complicated. So therefore, the belief in the mind science is even bigger than the belief in things like religion, existence of God. And but the beauty of the mind is that
Mm-hmm.
it can go both ways. It can go religiously, or you can become an atheist and also understand that the mind is the most important thing in the world.
Wow, that sounds very,
Yep.
very, very powerful. But to make it simpler and easier for our audience to understand, maybe Chief, you could break it down into the most the more basic form. What is the mind?
All right. The Even in the basic form, there are few definitions, and most of the
Right.
definitions they come up, they create mantras to elaborate what the mind is. To me, the the beginning of mind science started in, if I'm not mistaken, in the 14th or 15th century by a man called James Allen. Now, James Allen says that mind is the master power that moves and makes, and man is mind forevermore it takes. The tools of thought in shaping what it wills bring forth a thousand joys, a thousand ills. I live in secret, and if it comes to pass, the mind is but my looking glass.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah, I mean,
whoa! That is
we
kind of crazy.
yeah we when we study the mind, we I was actually forced to recite this mantra in our class. Without without reciting the mantra, we cannot pass the mind class. But it actually is the whole picture of what the mind is. So therefore,
Right.
to elaborate, I mean to say that the mind is powerful or not, actually the mind is everything based on that mantra.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to
And not
grasp it.
just
Yeah.
and you're not just talking about a look. Sorry, sorry. You can go ahead.
No, you're not talking about what? A look. Huh?
No, I was about to say and that you were not only talking when you say the mind is everything. You're not just talking about the mind being your own mind, but uh, overall kind of mind as well, right? Because everything is connected.
Yes, everything is connected like atoms, neurons, nucleus, and all this. I mean, come to think of it, how big do you think you are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you take a telescope, a fantastic telescope, and zoom outwards, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you, from maybe a 5 6 foot person, you become a very tiny, as tiny as a an ant, even a dot, and then when it grows bigger, then you go to the planets and all this. You see yourself as nothing,
Mm-hmm.
but but your mind has still got power to reach the universe.
Right. So in mind science, a lot of people, it is agreed that the mind that we all have, it is a localized version of the overall mind. Is that true?
Yes and no, depends on how deep you want to go. But let me disclaim, right? The
Mm-hmm.
mind, the mind is not the brain. The mind is not a
Yeah.
physical object. The mind is something, some resonance, some vibration that causes, gives away energy and gives away power that we human being not necessarily are capable of feeling what the mind is. Definitely, you cannot see what it is. Cannot see, you cannot hear. But the mind is the
Mm-hmm.
thing that gets you the results. Everything that you do,
I see.
whether good thing or bad, is being achieved by the mind.
Right. So you mentioned getting results, right? So what does that mean
Yeah.
in terms of wealth and abundance?
Okay. How do you acquire wealth? You acquire wealth by a very important element in the mind science called visualization. If you do not visualize for money, you will never get it. Okay? You'll
Okay.
get the money or wealth only if you had visualized it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You're talking about wealth. Same goes
Right.
for your health and your happiness.
Yep.
Yeah? You can actually visualize it, and the universe can get it for you. And you want to
Okay.
know the how the universe get it for you?
How?
Okay, your mind resonates with the universe in transmitting vibration. signal
Okay.
to the universe,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
the universe will receive your vibration transmission and then bounce back to you or to your environment, okay, to for you to get your results. That's why if you listen to the mantra again, the last line, the environment is not but
And
your looking glass. Your looking glass is a mirror,
mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So your universe is like bouncing it back, bouncing the vibration back the mirror for you to achieve your results in the world.
I
That's
see.
basically how
Wow.
this the simplest form in the mind science lah.
I see. I see.
Yeah,
Interesting. That is already quite a big pill to swallow.
yeah, yeah. It's very complicated, but I'll try tonight. I'll try to make it as simple
Hmm.
as possible for
Okay. So why not?
all the viewers to understand.
So, so why not we move into when you mentioned about visualization? What do you mean by that? What is visualization? How do I visualize something?
You visualize. Okay, how do you visualize anything? You create a statement. Create a statement.
Okay. So let's say I'm thinking of $1 million.
Hmm? Complete the sentence. Complete the sentence.
Sorry.
Complete a full
Okay.
sentence.
I okay. So I want to have $1 million.
Okay. Now, when I say visualize, right? Which part of
Mm-hmm.
I want to have $1 million can you visualize? Can you visualize I?
I can look at myself.
Yes, you can. Okay. You can visualize
Mm-hmm.
yourself because you are physical. So you can draw a
Yeah.
picture of yourself, correct?
Okay. Yeah. Drawing
One.
a picture in my mind.
Yeah, correct.
One.
Exactly. Want. I want, right? Want. Can you draw
Mm-hmm.
the want? The want.
I don't think so.
It's not a tangible thing. It's not a physical thing. It's not graphical.
Right.
I want to. To definitely is it's just an adjective. You cannot draw the two. Okay, have you cannot draw have. Okay,
So
you
so
can imagine
basically, it would end
receiving
up to have me holding $1 million.
$1 million, whether it's a check or
Yeah.
whether it's cash or whatever. It's $1 million,
Yeah.
not 999,000 or whatever, or not even 1,000,001 ringgit, or $1,000,001. And you mentioned the word dollars is not in ringgit. Huh?
No.
Must be very specific when you want to
Uh-huh.
receive,
I,
transmit results.
I'm imagining a few Benjamins.
Okay. So
No,
it
no
is,
Agong, Benjamin Franklin.
yeah. So it is in US dollars, right?
Yeah.
So there are only two things in your sentence you can draw out or graphically put that in context, right, of the mind, which is I and the $1 million. So
Mm,
therefore, you are bouncing up two objects, two objects up. Okay, graphically. Okay, you're transmitting that. Of course, there are certain criteria. You've got to go into the state and the vibration mode and stuff like that
yep.
to the universe, and the universe will bounce it back to you, and you must not care. The universe doesn't care how you get the money, whether you steal or you borrow or whatever, or you work hard for it, it will achieve. The I holding the $1 million.
I see.
That is that's the
Understand?
simplest form of how the mind science works.
I
You
see.
get
I
it?
see. I see. Okay. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
ask
Okay.
the viewers whether they understand what I'm talking about. If you understand what I'm talking about, you type yes. If not, you type no. I know it's very complicated, right? So
Because I think the hardest part to understand is like the transmitting part. Because of course you can. I mean, I can imagine myself holding a bunch of Benjamin Franklin's in my hands, like just hugging it like that. But like, what do you mean that it's gonna go out from my mind and go into the universe? What do you mean by that?
no, the object, the graphic. Okay, your visualization is the one that carries your your wishes. Okay, you can wish for bad things also. Okay, if you think of bad things can happen to you. So
Mm-hmm.
the vision goes up and it comes back and give it back to you. Okay, so what
Mm-hmm.
another science mind science guru says that whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. That means what your
Right.
mind brings up to the universe can give you it to you in physical form.
Mm-hmm. But it's not like you don't need to do anything after that, right? Do
Oh
you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
take
yeah. As I say,
steps?
it's not as simple as that, lah. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, Stephen Covey says that you must be the person, you must do what it takes for you to get it, and then you will have it. You get what I mean?
Right.
Like for
So it still
example,
requires
he
action, yeah.
action is the second part of it. The first part is that you got to continuously send messages through visualization.
Mm-hmm. And I believe, I mean, you also do believe that you have to be. I mean, just now you did mention that you have to be as specific as possible, right? So that means like if let's say my
Correct.
goal is like I want to have $1 million, then the next step would be how am I going to get that, and I backwards engineer the steps to take action towards to. Is that correct?
Yes, and the beauty of the mind is that it will it will lead you to the shortest cut to get whatever you have transmitted.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning to say, okay, if I were to visualize, I can even visualize the time. Okay, let's say I want to get it by Christmas, end of the year, 2022. Okay, I can
Mm-hmm.
visualize a calendar behind me, 25th of December
December.
2022, holding 1 million, or even holding a check, lah, let's say. But now people don't play check, or maybe I can visualize my handphone. Wow, my bank account suddenly got $1 million or something. Not serious.
Yeah.
Something that
Yeah.
you can visualize.
Yeah.
That's how you get the results. I actually
I
conduct
see.
mind training, and my mind training program is at least for 2 days. So we are trying to get it in half an hour. So I try as much to make it as simple as possible.
Okay, okay. Well, as we are approaching the middle of the show, I'd like to congratulate the audience, those of you who are chiming in. Thank you, everyone, especially those of you in the chat, Patricia, as well as Michael. Awesome to see you guys again. And Big Chief, I have a big question for you. Since it will take, I mean, this subject alone is actually quite expansive, right? Maybe an easy way to give an example would be if Big Chief, could you share any real life stories of people using the mind to materialize success?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you, before I give you my own example, I would like to give you a global example. Okay, the in thing now is a person called Elon Musk, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how in the world can Elon Musk think of his rocket going to Mars, landing on Mars? He cannot, right? Because there's no precedent. Nobody has done it before. The furthest probably people have landed is the moon. How can a person land on Mars? Okay, so it's almost impossible, and within a very very short period of time, everything is coming to him. All the answers are coming to him. He now has got a rocket capable of not only going to Mars but coming back, landing down on space rather than the rocket disintegrating in space or something like that. Okay, so how does that happen? Okay, the only answer that I can think of is he uses his mind. He believes that it can work, and he visualizes it, and the universe makes it happen to him. Okay, how it makes it happen? Okay, physically, when the universe transmit the messages back, it attracts attention of specialists wanting to work together with this individual called Elon Musk. And that makes Elon Musk very powerful, very popular, of course, very rich. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so, and talking about myself, at first I did not know about the existence of mind science. I did not know about there's a course or a subject called mind science, right? What happened was that when I was young, when I was small, when I was 10 years old to be specific, I started learning how to play tennis. And in 10 years old, I wanted a few things where tennis is concerned. Number one, I wanted to be a champion in Perak. I was from Perak. Secondly, I want to be a professional tennis coach one day, lah. And to
Mm-hmm.
to normal people, even to my parents, they say that you're crazy. With my constant visualization, without me realizing it, because I love it so much, I visualize it every day. Guess what? I achieved it, all of this, in 18 years, when I was 18 years old. So it
So in
took
just 8 years'
eight
time.
years. Yeah, 8 years. And it's like almost impossible. In fact, in 12 years' time, I was one of the top, not to brag, sorry, top tennis coaches in Malaysia. Okay, I was coaching in the highest elite club in Malaysia called Royal Selangor Golf Club. Yeah, maybe some of the
Mm-hmm.
viewers would know my story. So,
Right.
but to normal person, it is very difficult because last time there were more. I believe last time there were more tennis players than now. Okay, so there were like thousands of tennis players, and you know, to be a champion, to be the top tennis coach is not easy. So I wanted to find out how these kind of things happen. and I couldn't find it until maybe 20 years ago. I attended a few mind science program, and then
Mm-hmm.
I understood finally how how this thing works and get results.
I see. So very interesting. But it begs to it got me thinking a little bit because I was wondering uh, a lot of the mind has to do with visualization and actually believing in what you're visualizing, right? But what if you are a person who suffers from depression or anxiety? Is it harder for them to use the power of the mind?
Okay, the mind can work both ways. The mind can work negatively, the mind can work positively, right? Now, when you talk about depression, our visualization is quite negative, right?
Yep.
Depression is uh, quite a negative thing. Okay,
Yep.
so when you are depressed, you cannot. It's quite difficult for you to think of good stuff. You think of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to lose all my money.
Yeah.
People are going to, all these negative thoughts. And guess what? The negative thoughts are the ones that have been transmitted to the universe, and the universe gets you into the depression state
Becomes a loop.
deeper and deeper.
Mm.
It's not a loop, but it is an enhancer.
And
So
enhance.
people like us, when we do therapy for depressed people, what we do is the first thing that we do is to get them out of this situation, of
Mm.
the negative visualization situation. There are a lot of
Mm.
techniques, and of course, if you know mind science, then all the technique works. Yeah, so it's not only visualizing positive things; you can visualize bad things as well. So,
Right. So if let's say I really hate that person, I want him to something bad to happen to that person. It's very likely that that thing can happen as well, right?
okay, back to your visualization again. How do you visualize that person?
Okay,
If
I
you
can
visualize
imagine that
something
person.
bad, what? He breaks his hand. Can you
Okay,
visualize
he
him
breaks his
breaking his
hand.
hand? Okay, he breaks his hand. The universe
Um,
doesn't care whether you whack him to break his hand, or he falls down to break his hand, or gets into an accident and breaks his hand will get broken.
right, right.
Yeah,
Understand.
that is the results part lah. And there's no timing.
Interesting. So
Huh?
yeah, it will happen when it happens, right?
No, it will happen when the universe wants it to happen.
I see. Interesting, interesting. Well, it I think the more we dig into this topic, the deeper we get and the more questions will arise. So,
Yes, yes,
as
yes.
we are nearing the end of the show, is there anything you'd like to summarize for the audience?
Why don't we ask? I think we still got 2 to 3 minutes, right? Why don't we ask our
Mhm.
audience to post some questions for us? Okay,
Sure.
yeah, to
If you
all the
guys have any
audience,
questions, now is the time.
and any question about the mind. Okay, the other example that I could think of is the Big Shift channel itself. How did the Big Shift channel start? And
You
everything
visualized it.
can be related. Yes, you know, the founders of the Big Chief channel, all of us were visualizing for it to happen, and here it goes.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people
Interesting.
tried to start that just you know did not materialize, but ours materialized pretty fast. It started in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We started
And now we have
broadcasting two
some,
weeks.
yeah, and now we have some lovely recurring viewers. All of you, shout out to all you guys.
Yeah.
You guys know who you are.
Okay, and the other thing is gratitude. That's why we,
Gratitude.
like the Big Chief channel, we keep on thanking the viewers, congratulating, like what you did, congratulate the viewers for coming in again and stuff like that. So, uh,
Yep.
and you asked me how to conclude this program is that if you want to know about the mind science, okay, you think about it, there are a lot of reference books, reference video you can look out for. The first recommended, the easiest thing to do is probably to go and take a look at a video called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It is probably around, I think, one
Mm.
and a half hour video, and that gives you an elementary introduction of what the mind is. And if you want to go deeper, you can, as I said again, you can go into deeper
James
things,
Allen.
deeper books like James Allen. Yeah, James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. Okay, that is to me a book that nobody can understand, but it's the most complete book where mind science is concerned. Okay, because
Right.
number one, two things. Now, mind science is very complicated actually, and second thing is that that book is written in biblical English. As I said again,
Mm.
as I mentioned again, it's probably around the 14th or 15th century. I cannot remember that James Allen wrote the book. So
I
the
see.
modern science guru are all using that book as the reference book, actually, one of the reference books.
I see. I see.
But for beginners, maybe
I see.
you go and take a look at the secrets. Okay, you can find it in
Mm-hmm.
YouTube and stuff like that, or you can buy the book itself.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Big Chief, for sharing about the mind. I know it's a very hard topic to talk about because of how vast it can be, and it's hard to grasp with just 30 minutes. All we could barely cover the subject, right? And again, we encourage you guys, if let's say you're interested, to check it out yourself and learn how to use the mind to materialize your goals. So, without further ado, we are reaching the end of the show. I'd like to thank every
Maybe
one of you
before
for
that,
tuning in once again.
maybe you could ask the viewers if they are more interested, if they find this topic very interesting. Can you maybe type 888 so that we can maybe plan for another show or a few more shows because of the mind.
Sure.
Sorry, continue.
I was about to end the show, but if you guys
Okay.
enjoy this topic, please shoot us a message so that we can continue. So thank you, Patricia. I'm glad you find it interesting. Maybe we can organize another session. But for now, unfortunately, for the lack of time, we'll have to say goodbye to everyone. And I hope that every one of you is having a lovely evening or day ahead. Catch you guys next time in the big wide
How?
world of Big Chief. How?
How?
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.